You know what I often forget existed? Flappy Bird. You know what game caused people to commit actual murder? Also Flappy Bird. Last time I made something that killed people, I got life in prison, not $50,000 a day. Everyone and their weird aunt was addicted to Flappy Bird, so when it was removed off the App Store in February of 2014, people started buying and selling phones with the game installed on them. And you might be wondering, who the fuck would buy that? And to that I say apparently a lot of people, because they were still being sold to upwards of $400 to this day. Now what if you wanted to play the addicting bird game, but you had at least a little bit of common sense left? Well, look no further than the infinite realm of clone games. Flappy Bird is such a simple game to make, so much so that 4th graders can learn to make it in an afternoon. So shitty developers flocked to cash in on this cow. Or bird, rather. You know, there's probably even a clone game based off Eminem's kart racing. However, that might just be wishful thinking. Because of this, searching Flappy and then anything into the Play Store can lead to a fun game I like to call Try Not to Lose Your Sense of Self. I'm not joking when I say these games all look exactly the same, and looking at how they all avoided copyright is really entertaining to me. Now you might ask me, Jackson, why are you making a Flappy Bird video in 2020? And to that I'll probably respond by saying, why are you watching a Flappy Bird video in 2020? It doesn't matter why we're here, and the only one that can leave is you. Anyway, enough about my sad hobby, let's move on to talking about some clone games. Alright, so clone game number 1 definitely has a title, but for some reason it can't decide what it is. In the Play Store, it calls it Funny Bird, while in game, it calls it Flying Bird. There isn't really anything special about this game. It plays exactly like Flappy Bird with just different visuals. However, the reason I chose to talk about it isn't because it's interesting, it's because some of its reviews are. Here are 2 of my favorites.
This is an insane game. It is a very challenging game. This is the hardest game I've ever played. Most of it I liked this game. Literally every time I play this game I crash my head. My opinion about this game is that it is a good game to play.
This game is kind of scary because like the thing has his head and I feel I gave you 5 stars and but this game is so awesome. It's like better than all the other games I got. Like Goodbye Daddy forgot this game and he's so big comeback fight summon game because it's like the best. Thanks for the game.
I think the best part about these is I cannot for the life of me tell if they were paid for or not. Clone game number 2 does a slightly better job at being unique. At first glance, it's probably one of the hardest to tell it's a clone. Again, the gameplay is very similar to the original, with only one change. Instead of dodging pipes, you have to go through hoops, and you get bonus points for splashing. No, I didn't have to Google what that meant. What makes you think that? This game is pretty polished, and like I said earlier, it doesn't particularly look like a Flappy Bird clone. It's just the title that gives it away. I think at one point I actually had this one on my phone for like a week, and I didn't notice it was a clone, so good job, I guess. Okay, on to number 3. What if you wanted to be the pipe and could also kill the Flappy Bird? Well, here's game. That's how brain dead this game makes me feel. This game is exactly what it sounds like. You take control of a pipe pair and have to crush the incoming computer-controlled birds. Now I have to heavily censor this gameplay or else YouTube will come to my house and force me to unsubscribe from living, so have fun looking at pixels. It's a nice break from the normal kind of clone game, but I feel like at this point this type of gameplay has become its own subgenre of Flappy Bird clone. I used to see this type of game all the time, back when I can only count up to 4. You got to 5 for the first time yesterday. Clone game number 4 is probably the one that expanded the most on the original's gameplay. That sounds like high praise, but trust me, it really isn't. It plays in landscape mode, and has an actual level system instead of randomly generated stages. Does this mean I put enough effort to make it past the 2nd level? No! The new gameplay mechanics kind of remind me of Geometry Dash, as you change between them with portals, and one of them plays almost exactly like it, being like a ground, jumpy, over spike type thing. Other than that, there isn't really much I can say about it. It's Flappy Bird again, woo! Number 5 is the scariest. If you die in the game, you die in real life. Not really, but I would have made this video a hell of a lot more interesting. This is just Flappy Bird, but online. Like, that's it. That's what makes it special. But does that mean I didn't actually no-life it and play it instead of watching Killer Bean with my friends, which would have been an awesome bonding experience? What do you mean that's really specific? Doesn't that happen to everyone? I probably played this one the most, based purely off the fact that it's the most similar to the original in gameplay feel. That's to say it felt polished. Well, as polished as a Flappy Bird game can get. I'm sorry if, I'm not, describing the gameplay as much as you'd like. The thing is, they're all Flappy Bird clones. So they all play like Flappy Bird. And if you don't know how Flappy Bird plays, then why the fuck did you click on this video? Well, that was certainly enlightening. Thanks for taking the trip into Flappy Hell with me. Though I should probably resurrect Jack's wearing a different shirt before he starts stinking up my room. Let's see, is there a Flappy Necromancer game?